Okay. Masculine energy. This is like, this is when you're running in your beta brainwaves. And this is where we live a lot of the day. Most of the day, you are in beta state. And this is like the masculine energy. I'm going to give you so many little examples of this. So, this is like planning things, executing things. This is being grounded. When you feel really grounded, usually that's when you are, not usually, it is when you are in this aligned state, right? Of aligning the feminine part and the masculine part, but I'm just going to touch mostly on masculine through this video. And then in the feminine side, I'm going to touch mostly on feminine, but I am going to cross over where necessary. It's probably going to come up a lot because it's really like difficult to talk about one without the other. And just keep in mind that we have masculine energy and feminine energy, no matter our sexual orientation, at all times. And we need to, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. And some of us will be dominant in one area certain years of our life. Like if you're reflecting back through this course on occurrences, circumstances, that events that have happened throughout your life, you will be able to see where you were dominating in one energy or the other. It is really awesome when we can flow these together. That being said, it's not like necessarily every single day both of those will be in perfect balance. That's not a thing, right? Like balance isn't a real thing. So don't concern yourself with like, oh, my scales are a little wobbly like this. If you're feeling like they're wobbly and it doesn't feel good, that's where we become a little bit concerned of like, what should I do to balance this feeling out? But when we are in perfect alignment with our masculine and femininity, it's going to run through a cycle. It often runs through almost like a moon cycle, or usually you have like a 28, 30-day cycle of some sort, whether you're male or female. And this doesn't necessarily mean for females, this doesn't just mean like when you're on your woman's cycle. Sometimes it will sync up there. And I encourage you to start to like kind of guide that for yourself. If you don't already practice that, like a lot of my one-to-one clients practice this already, where they just write down a little check mark or a little X or a little happy face or a heart or a lightning bolt on days that are like, yes, that felt so good. And so keep that at the forefront of your mind and start to kind of track that for yourself in the months coming, because it will give you so much grace and permission for yourself, understanding for yourself, to know that you aren't going to feel super uppity every single day of the month or every single day of the year or every single moment of the day. Even you will have parts that flow differently. For my own self, I know I have like a 4 to 5 day period throughout my like usually 28 to 30 day cycle where I am feeling on fire. And this is like my masculine energy and my feminine energy are just so excellently combined that I just feel like go, 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 go. This is where we can, I don't love the word hustle, but we can use the word hustle here. This is where we are able to hustle to get things done, or to clean the house, or to do something for business, or to, I don't know, like just get projects going, get them really flowing, get a lot of the to-dos done during this time. So it's not like to-do lists are bad, which might kind of be the way some people will look at that as a like, ooh, that's so masculine, because to-do lists are masculine. It's when we are attaching our worth to the action of the to-do list. So if we have a to-do list for the day or for the week or for the month, and then those things don't occur, and then we then shit on ourselves because those haven't occurred, we are attaching our worth to that to-do list. And so that isn't a great masculine energy to be in. That is a wounded state. That's not awesome feeling, right? So when you are able to detach your worth to your productivity, that is a great place to be. Masculine logical thinking is like, it's what you already know. It comes from often previous experience, right? Like I was talking about when you're a sponge from 0 to 7 years, but you've also lived an adult life where you have seen how things have played out. And so know that you also have subconscious blocks there if there's something that hasn't worked out the way you wanted it to, or you haven't got ahead. So I'm just going to use my network marketing example here of I went in steaming hot, grew really fast, was like really great. And I was like feeling on top of the world. I had all of these people congratulating me within the system. It felt really awesome. I was really like, go, 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 just do more of the same is how I was coached to do it. And then you will continue to grow. But then I started to attach my worth, my worthiness to being able to perform or to do those things or to check those boxes or to, there was always an attachment to an outcome. And if it didn't work out the way I had initially set for the intention for it to work out, I didn't even use the word intention back then I would feel shitty and I would feel kind of eh. And I did this in my own online business as well of, well, I didn't bring in that much, or I didn't have that many clients, or I wanted 10 people in that program and I didn't sell out that program. That is the wounded state. And so when we are in this like beautiful masculine energy of being strong and graceful and we're confident and we're doing from this great place of like, yes, this feels so good. I want to do this. We have this like total confidence within us of like, this is it. This is happening. This is going on. Like when I moved here, which made no logical sense. So it was very feminine energy of just like, this is what we're meant to do, but it didn't make sense. I used my masculine energy to propel us to get here. I, booked the movers. I put the house for sale. I looked at places to go. I came out here and looked at houses. I got the boxes. I did the actual packing. I talked to people that I needed to talk to. I switched insurances. I got my kids into new schools. All of those pieces, I had to use masculine energy to get the plan rolling, to keep it going, to bring it to fruition. But there was never a point of like, what if this doesn't work out? Okay, well, if that piece didn't work out, because there were definitely pieces that didn't work out, we couldn't find a moving company to move us. And so that was like, I could have stopped then. And if I was in a wounded energy, I would have been like, this isn't meant. This shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have been that hard. Instead, it was like, oh, okay, what's the next solution? So masculine energy is very solution based. Is when you're finding yourself in like a cyclical response, that can be the masculine energy of like, how can I explain this the best way? Masculine energy is more linear thinking. So like, here's point A, I want to get to point C. Here's the B's that I need to do along the road to get to point C. Whereas feminine energy can kind of be more in that cyclical fashion. But watch yourself if you're in this cyclical pattern repeating by not getting things done or not following things through. That's the wounded masculine energy, because you have a block there in your subconscious of like, well, I wasn't able to do that, so I can't do it. So I started running in a wounded masculine energy in my network marketing business when I wasn't getting further ahead. And so then I was just like, oh, what do I do? That didn't work last time. That didn't work. That, like, it's a thought process that goes through there of like, well, I'm not getting ahead. Well, I'm not getting ahead. Well, I'm not getting ahead. And so when we come at something, I was still doing all of the action, all of the masculine action of like, this is what we do. We reach out to more people. We book more parties. We share more product. We talk about it more. I was doing all of those actions, but because I was then running this wounded masculine state of like, people are like worried about what I'm saying, or I was like in this convincing, like, this is the best product for you. If you're in a convincing mode, you're in a wounded masculine state. So it's not going to be received openly on the other side when you are convincing people this is the best product for you, or when you are convincing people that your belief systems are the best way to be. So if you look at like my beliefs, like how I gave you that journal prompt of what to write down about what your beliefs are, my beliefs are probably a lot different than a lot of people. Of the majority of the world, I probably have quite different beliefs, but I'm not out there going, you have to do this. You have to believe me on that money is just energy. I'm going to talk about that money is energy. I'm going to share my beliefs, but from a place of confidence and power because I know this is my truth. It's not from a wounded place of like, well, I'm going to show you all the things that aren't true. I'm not going to trigger people. I hate trigger marketing into pain points of like talking about like all of the bad that's out there and why you should work with me because I'm better than all of the bad that's out there. That's not going to convince people to work with you. It might pull in some people, they're not gonna be good people to work with. Or if you're, like, trying to switch careers even, you can't come in with this, like, convincing, "Eh, I'm so good at this," or I need this." That's not a good state to be in. So wounded masculine believes action equals worth, right? So watch yourself. If you're making to-do lists or you have goals or intentions that you're not meeting, are you then sitting in this place of like, that wasn't so good? Like I had a client a few months ago that really wanted to hit 10K in a month. And she has all of the tools to do so, but she came to this, like, was getting into this needy energy, and she could feel it within her that she was getting into this needy energy of like, I need to do this. I need this to happen. We often put time stamps on it, right? And so this isn't a training about time, but the perception of time is really fascinating because she was like, I need it to be by the end of January 31st, I need 10K. Little did she know that the first week of February would be a very abundant week. So if she hadn't been able to detach that worth piece from the action that she was taking, the end of January would have felt so much stickier and yuckier and not feeling great. Whereas when she, like, was able to switch that and flip that into, like, it's just coming, like, it just doesn't matter, I'm still going to continue to take action. It doesn't matter that I didn't hit 10K by January 31st. Then she was able to slip into that for the 1st of February, right? The 1st week of February. Same thing when we were moving out here. I wasn't stuck on this spot of like, well, I have to move out there by the end of September. When we first initially started thinking about moving out here, and this was a very small time frame from start to finish, right? It was like, oh, by winter, sometime we'll be out there. Little did I know that I was taking such aligned action that we would be out there in like less than 4 weeks. Boom, 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 boom. Those things happen so fast because I was in an aligned space of taking action. It wasn't because I was forcing it. We can't trick the universe by forcing something to come to fruition. When I was in network marketing, I was trying to force to grow within that company. I was forcing, I was pushing, it was hard, it was heavy, it was pressured, it was yucky. That is that wounded masculine state. We also don't, when we are in the wounded masculine, we suppress emotions. We don't think that there's a purpose for them. We don't allow ourselves to feel angry or sad or disappointed or hurt. You have to allow all of the emotions to flow through you. You have to be able to own them. You have to be okay with them. You have to not judge that those emotions are coming up for you, and that's okay. So when you're in this, like, I'm going to call it divine masculine state, like this really great masculine energy, you are like feeling courageous, you are feeling secure, you are feeling solution orientated. Like it does not matter. I'm going to figure it out in a happy way instead of like, I need to figure this out. I need to do this. You are focused and it's easy. So, like again, if I look at moving out here, it was easy to pack up that house and move out here really quickly and get my kids transferred into new schools and sell the business or sell pieces of the business. We had a lot of assets to sell. That was easy. All of that just worked out easy. We sold 2 vehicles. Like all of this stuff was easy because we were focused with ease. We followed through. Following through, like when you are in wounded masculine, you don't, or wounded feminine even too, you don't follow through on those things. So look at it as when you're thinking about, am I in, in this masculine state, am I just reacting from what I think I know as truth? So again, it's back to that logical mind, it's back to that conscious mind of like, this is what I know to be true because this is what I have seen happen. Am I believing this is the truth because other people, I've seen this happen with other people? Are you being assertive in a way that's just like, this is my assertiveness, this is my belief system, and then being action orientated from that place? Or is it in a wounded place of like, I'm just taking action just to take action? Because sometimes we need to lean out before we can take action. Okay. So masculine is planning, executing, strategizing. It's the how things happen, but not from a forced place of like, I will figure out the how. The how just becomes clear as we are standing into our desires, as we are like stepping into like, this is what I truly want in my life. The how comes through because we're in such a secure, confident, safe, strong foundational place of like, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, it's no big deal. Um, when we were moving, I didn't need to convince anybody why we needed to move. I just knew it was we were moving. I wasn't looking for outside feedback. We'll get into that a little bit more in the feminine energy, but it was just like, this is it. This is what we're doing. Like it or lump it. You don't have to like it. It's mine. And because I was in that strength space, nobody came to me and said, "You're crazy. What are you doing?" Even though I know a lot of people thought it, but because I was standing in my masculine energy of like not being pushy, not being harsh, not being convincing others that like this is the cool way, you should do this too, because that's not where I was at all. They didn't come to me and try to convince me otherwise. Nobody like, I see this a lot in network marketing where people are afraid of posting things out there and, somebody might judge me for this, or somebody might they're coming like they're doing the to do from a masculine energy, but they're also coming at it from a wounded feminine state of like, what if somebody thinks that? And then they see proof. Somebody will say to them, "You're posting too much," or "Why are you sharing about that?" I actually had this happen to me, I don't know, a month ago, because sometimes I worry about posting about money so much. That's my own wounded state that I'm still healing too, but it's also really important to me to talk about money because I think it shouldn't be such a dirty word. Anyway, I was like, "Oh, have I posted too much about money lately?" A couple days later, I had a lady say to me, "It drives me crazy how much you post about money." Thank you. Yep, now I've seen the proof of that. Because I don't have a wounded masculine state, I wasn't like, "Oh, I can never talk about money. I shouldn't have done that. I won't do that in the future." No, that's her thing. That's her wounds that she needs to deal with. And it's just a good moment of clarity of like, that's not my truth. That's not my power. I need to stand in my own power, my own truth, my own beliefs. I need to share with confidence and do the action to do with that. So anything that you're looking at and changing in your life, we're going to go through the feminine piece too, but because they have to be intertwined. When you're taking action from that place of like a good heart knowing, intuitive download, a gut feeling, whatever that looks like, gut feelings can sometimes be subconscious blocks. So watch that too of like, oh, I'm afraid to go ahead. Yeah, that's just an old subconscious block that you need to work through, which is also why I have the one-to-one call so that you guys can bring those up to the surface, do it in the live Q&A, send me an email, whatever that looks like for you, but make sure you're paying attention to those and that we can work through those together. It's totally my freaking superpower. It's a weird superpower, but it's there. So go check out the feminine one next. Come back to this, listen to it again. Uh, Repetition is permanence. So the more you do the same, when you're like exploring different belief systems, the more you are pushing the edges of like, I'm willing to look at things differently. The repetition piece is so important there. how we were talking about the subconscious versus the conscious, because you are not used to this being your normal, that you can think outside the box. Okay? So repetition, repetition, repetition.